Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Miss J, I'm back for another marketing and business lesson. How you doing, folks? Great. Hey, here's what I'll tell you. Last week, you had a lesson and assignment dealing with like ethics, HR, making a decision. There was a little dispute in the break room that you had to handle. We are going to circle back around to that, I promise. I'm just not done reading all of your responses, and they're so good. So I want to discuss them from an HR standpoint, and I'm just a little bit behind on grading. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. So we will circle back to that. We are going to jump into a different topic today. And if you're like, Miss J, it seems like we're topic hopping, you would be correct. Because due to this whole new e-learning environment, I'm not able to kind of delve into certain topics as much as I want. But we do want to touch on this one before we get to your final project, which should be in next week's video. If I'm thinking of the right day. Yeah, the 27th. Yeah. So we're going to delve into this a little bit. I'm going to show you some examples. I hope you learned something. We're going to talk about social media today and how companies use it. You guys already know a ton about social media, so I'm not like going to give you the basics. However, I am going to give you a little bit of vocabulary for what companies are actually doing with their social media presence. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. Hey, what is social media? You guys already know infusion and interaction of a variety of technologies. But I really actually like this video right here that talks about how much we actually use that interaction. So let's just watch that real quick. Where is it? Okay, it's right here. Sorry, everybody. Here we Whoa, hey. Okay, we're going to talk about a couple of things with that video. It has a lot of good information that really resonates. So, one of the things that it mentioned is like 28% of youngsters, that's what I call young people, get their news from social media. That happens, right? Like, I'll see a picture of a celebrity couple, and then it's got the like line in between, and it's like, oh no, they broke up. And then I'll like go and research it. I mean, that's just an example, not me specifically, but just an example. Also, it talked about that influencer piece. So, for every dollar a business invests in influencers, they make back 650. It just makes sense. That's crazy. And we want to say that we don't listen to influencers, but we really do. I do. I have certain influencers that I follow. And sometimes when I'm in the market for something new, I will go. Like, I was just looking for the best white t-shirt on the planet. That's all I was looking for, like the most comfortable one that didn't have to be ironed. And so where did I go? To the fashion blogger that I follow, and she has her recommendation. And of course I bought it. So when you have an income that's disposable or an income where you get to make a lot more choices when you're a grown up, influencers do kind of come into play. I know they do for some of you right now with you guys not having a full-time jobs. Like sometimes you're like, yeah, I just more bang for my buck or what have you, but influencers do affect us a lot in our buying decisions. That was not a great sentence. Sorry about that, but I'm not going to like stop and re-record. Okay. One other thing it mentioned on there was about mobile ads. Everything was about mobile. So if you have a website for your company, but it's not accessible or it's not user friendly on someone's phone, that is a problem because so many people order things from their phone. I mean, not many people will get out their whole laptop, unless you're way older, to order things. You want to do it on your phone where it's nice and easy. Okay, how to reach your customers. So this little how-to right here talks a little bit about it's for like an audience of businesses that haven't been doing this very long. Like, when is it appropriate to post something on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or Twitter, what have you? It'll kind of break that down for you. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about a couple of examples of how social media has actually like harmed some companies. So social media, anybody for your company, if it's public, anybody can follow you, right? That message gets out to a ton of people. Well, I want to give you the example from our coffee company. So we get our espresso beans from R&R Roasters. For a long time, they kept getting like Yelp was reaching out to them, like saying, you definitely need to advertise on Yelp. You're going to get so many customers from it. We have such a broad reach. And they just kept saying kind of like, no. Well, they were trying to look to boost their sales a little bit. And they're like, you know what, why don't we try this Yelp thing? So they did an advertisement on Yelp. And then it was like featured on some like Facebook pages of people who were in the area. Well, what happened was that next weekend, they had a line out the door, which is great, right? Like they had a lot of business. However, it was so many people that they couldn't actually handle it inside. So like people left angry because they were like, I waited for 30 minutes and I still hadn't ordered my food. Well, what did they then do? They got on Yelp and wrote a terrible review for the restaurant saying that they didn't even get to eat in there. So there is kind of a double-edged sword with it. So you have to be really smart how you're communicating. A more recent example of this, it actually happened a couple of weeks ago. So if you know, Reese Witherspoon does a lot besides acting, and she actually has a retail company, like clothing company called Draper James. And a couple of weeks ago, when all this e-learning stuff kind of first started, the pandemic first started, they released on Instagram and I think Facebook for, if you are a teacher, we want to send you a free dress. Just fill out this form. So guys, guess what? I went and filled out the form. I was like, dope, their dresses are beautiful and they're kind of expensive. I wouldn't normally buy them. So I filled out the form and then it says, we're just doing like a vetting process to make sure you're actually a teacher. We'll get back to you shortly. Well, what happened was they thought maybe thousands of teachers would fill this out. No, it was like millions of teachers filled this out. Did they have enough dresses? Did they have the profit to cover that? No, they did not. So they had to like pull it back and say like, due to overwhelming response, we were only able to select 250 teachers to receive dresses. It's so bad. So then they had to like issue an apology. They wrote us all an email saying, here's a coupon for like 20% off of something, but it really, really backfired. So you have to think through these things if you're reaching such a broad audience, which Reese Witherspoon has a huge audience. So if you didn't hear about that, you can read about it and how their company is responding to it. One other way that we reach customers is kind of by hybrid marketing. So we like have things in store connected with social media. So I pulled an example from Target on how like when you're walking through the store, they will like have signs like saying text us or log on to our app to get this coupon. That's an example of like, you're here in the store already. You're already our customer. We want to go to that next level where we can like contact you when you're not here, meaning like we can send you coupons to your phone. Matter of fact, I just got a text from like World Market a little bit ago telling me about certain coupons that they have right now. It's a little bit of an example of hybrid marketing. Okay, our main focus of this lesson is the 4 A's of social media. Now, we pull this vocabulary from Ben Smithy, who he runs his own, he's the CEO of like a digital marketing company. He really helps businesses understand their online presence. And I met him a couple of years ago at a conference. He was at Deca State this year as our keynote speaker. And so we kind of pull some of this vocabulary from him. So the 4 A's are attention, affinity, acquisition, and advocacy. And we're going to look at an example of each of these. Now, we want to start with attention because we want to get a following. We want people to know that we're there. Now, if you're a well-known brand, that's going to look different. If you're Pepsi, everybody knows who Pepsi is. So how are you going to get people's attention is different than an